Hello everyone, I'm day weather meteorologist Don Day with your Public Lands Council weekly weather update for this August 26, 2023. It's being brought to you by Ag Risk Advisors and WSR Insurance Services Incorporated. Well, the past week has seen a lot of activity in the West. First of all, as we talked about last week, we had Hurricane Hilary, what was left of Hilary, bringing a lot of heavy rain to California, parts of Nevada, parts of Arizona, and into the Intermountain West and the Great Basin states. Then we also had the remains of Hurricane Harold that brought more rain to parts of the central and southern Rockies and some heavy rain to parts of the central high plains. But we don't see as much tropical activity this coming week. And one thing we're also going to see is that really hot weather in the central United States that's been making headlines. Well, that hot dome is going to ease significantly. But there will also be enough subtropical moisture around to keep some scattered showers and thunderstorms going this weekend into early next week across the west and central areas of the United States. But the jet stream going to get a little more active, sending some frontal systems our way. And what will happen is a general trend towards temperatures not as hot in the central and west. Some shower and thunderstorm activity with a bit of a drying trend towards the middle of the week coming our way. So maybe not as busy of a weather pattern over the next 7 days. And this is going to mean more moderate temperatures, whether it's in the hot central United States or some very warm temperatures in the west. They'll pull back a bit. We will see it get hot again down into Arizona, Southern California, the southwestern United States, but elsewhere temperatures are going to be more moderate. You can see in the past week where the heavy rain's been, definitely you can see the impacts of the remains of Hurricane Hilary, but also thrown into this mix, especially down here in Texas and New Mexico, is also what came in with the tropical storm that was Harold that came out of the Gulf of Mexico. Now you can certainly tell where the heat dome was, right? With very dry conditions over the last week, almost no rain in the central United States under that high pressure ridge. But with that high pressure ridge breaking down, as you'll see here in a moment, we will see some precipitation coming on in. But look at all that rain, especially in these areas right here, then also across a good chunk of rain in parts of Montana and western areas of North Dakota with that tropical moisture. And there's the heat. Over the past week, if you wanted to know where the bullseye of the heat was, at least relative to the 30-year average, it was hottest in South Dakota, Nebraska, and Kansas, into the western Corn Belt there, down into Texas. But at the same time, a lot of the western side of North America, western Canada, and the far western United States, well, it was colder than average, as well as the northeast U.S. If you look at where temperatures have been for the month of August, so since August 1st through the 25th of August, the temperatures have been hottest in this area right here in the south, parts of the Midwest, parts of the Pacific Northwest, but there's also a large part of the country with at or a little bit below average temperatures for the month of August so far. Soil moisture definitely got a boost here with the remains of Hilary going up into here. We continue to see dryness in the Pacific Northwest, and I'm afraid that's going to continue for a bit longer into the northern plains. We did get some help, especially here in South Texas, but drought conditions continue to be a concern in this area here, and dryness, even though they got some rain in Arizona, it certainly is dry. Same for areas of New Mexico. As we go into this upcoming weekend, we will have enough subtropical moisture that there is going to be an arch of thunderstorms going across the Rockies in the southwest United States into the Midwest. Also, some cooler air comes in from the northwest as the high pressure ridge is now shifting back to the west. What that will do is allow the nation's midsection to cool off a little bit, and that's something that we're going to see heading into next week. This is going to be a strong hurricane forming in the Atlantic, but going that way, we may end up later this week having some tropical activity come up from these thunderstorms, maybe forming a tropical wave headed towards Florida. But the western United States really doesn't have any tropical connections in the coming week that we've had here over the past week. Now, by next Saturday, we see high pressure firmly entrenched near the Four Corners area. That will make the far west pretty warm, but also this flow of air coming in from the northwest will cool off the central areas of the United States and maybe drag a cold front to areas on the east side of the Continental Divide. So east of the Divide, it'll be a little cooler by next weekend. West of the Divide, still pretty warm. And this low here off the Northern California coast will kind of stall out and sit there for a day or two before moving in as we get into those first, let's say the first work week dates of the month of September. The next week ahead, this is what the precipitation looks like. You can see that while it's not a lot, we do see some showers and thunderstorms getting into the central United States as that high pressure ridge breaks down. Here's that subtropical moisture remaining that will keep showers and thunderstorms going in the central and southern Rockies. A little bit of moisture for the Pacific Northwest, and you can see the Gulf of Mexico area, Florida, the East Coast, headed towards wet weather as they will be impacted a little bit by the tropical areas there. Your next update will be Saturday, the second day of September. Have a good week ahead, everybody.